Hello, it's me again, Madam Jennifer from Educare TZ. Welcome again, my lovely Form 3 students in our proceeding lecture series on biology, and we are currently proceeding with our topic on the regulation, where we are proceeding with the subtopic on the regulation of blood sugar level, where we have already discussed on the causes, symptoms, and effects of both high blood sugar level, which is hypoglycemia, hypoglycemia, and high blood glucose level, which is hyperglycemia. And I would like to pass you through the last causes and effects and symptoms of this high blood sugar level, which is diabetes insipidus, in our today's session. Also, I will pass you through the last subtopic, which is the homeostatic in plants. As you know, that plant is also the living organism. Also, it needs to maintain the constant internal environment so as to perform its different activities like photosynthesis, excretion in a required manner, because the excess or the accumulation of a particular substance into the plant into the body of the plant might result to the harmful, toxic, also different defects which might interfere with the whole growth and development of the plant, which can result into either production of the low yield into the plants. Now, the another causes and symptoms and effect of the high blood glucose level is diabetes insipidus. The diabetes insipidus, this is a disease that results from the failure of pituitary gland to produce the sufficient ADH. The ADH, this is one of the hormone which is responsible for the regulation of the amount of water into the body of the organism. This is responsible for the reabsorption of the water into the body of the living organism. The aldosterone hormone or the vasopressin hormone ambayo tunaita kwa kifupi the ADH, we have already discussed on the osmoregulation of water of the body fluid katika previous session ambayo tuliangalia katika the mechanism of osmoregulation. Now this ADH na be responsible katika regulation of the body fluid. When there will be the low amount of the water into the body, the pituitary gland will stimulate the aldosterone hormone to cause the permeability katika distal convoluted tubule, vile vile katika collecting duct kwa ajili ya kuweza kuongeza permeability. This permeability increases the reabsorption rate so to ensure that the amount of urine, the amount of water or the amount of body fluid is retained, also it is produced in the required amount. While if will be the high amount of water or the body fluid to the body, this ADH will be poorly stimulated so as to ensure that the amount of water into the body is conserved. Also, we have seen that's why the camel have ability to live for a long period of years without taking water, and that's we say that because they have that long rope of Henle, which increases the reabsorption of water, also the reabsorption of the mineral salts, where we see the sodium and the chloride, which are essential or which are crucial for the maintenance of the body fluid. So the disorder or the defect of the pituitary gland to produce the sufficient ADH can either result into the secretion or the secretion of the more diluted urine or more concentrated urine. So the person passes out large amounts of diluted urine, a condition is known as pyluria. So when there will be the defect on this ADH or the aldosterone hormone or the vasopressin, it will result to the secretion of the more diluted urine, and this is common for people who are suffering from the diabetes mellitus, where they urinate more frequently and they produce or they secrete a more diluted urine. This is due to the defect in the ADH under the control of the pituitary gland. So such person may pass out up to 20 liters of the urine per day and get dehydrated very fast. Why they get more dehydrated? That is because they secrete more diluted urine. If there will be more diluted urine, meaning that the amount of the mineral salt will be very, 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 very high. That's why the person is very dehydrated, kwa anakuwa anahitaji constant supply of water so as to ensure lazima anywe maji mara kwa mara ili kuweza kama kujitibu au kuweza kureplace their lost water. Na vile vile this person is suffering from the excessive sweating. So he or she has to compensate for the loss by drinking a lot of water and eating watery food like cucumber, watermelons, and others. So why people who are suffering from the diabetes mellitus insipidus urinate very frequently and they secrete more diluted urine, this is because due to the defect of the ADH, of the DH, which are produced by the pituitary gland. So when the person was suffering from the diabetes, meaning that he or she also is likely suffering from this ADH hormone or the vasopressin hormone, which is responsible for regulation of the body fluid. So now I would like to pass you through the last session and last subtopic in this lovely topic, which is the homeostasis in plants. So similar to other living things, plants also have the need to maintain the internal environment constant in order to survive and thrive in changing external environment. So the same as we see to the living organism like we human being, reptile, amphibia, these poicothems, we have discussed them, the homothems, who need to regulate their internal body condition. The same to plants as one of the living organism. Also, they need to regulate, to maintain the internal environment so as to survive and thrive in changing external environment. The external environment tend to fluctuate from time to time, either in terms of pressure, water vapor, as well as the temperature. So plants also have developed different homeostatic mechanisms, the osmoregulatory mechanism, which enable them so as to survive on the fluctuating environmental condition. So they have numbers of ways to maintain the internal environment relatively constant. So plants also develop different ways so as to maintain the internal environment constant. So they have leaves for maintaining the homeostasis. Within the plant leaves is where you get the stomata. The stomata, these are guarded by the guard cell. And these stomata, these are the small pores which are found on the superficial area. They can be either positioned on the above or below the leaves. They depend on the environmental condition where they are living to. For those plants which are found in this waterlogged area or hydrophyte, their stomata are likely to be exposed above the surface so as to increase the rate of water loss, or to increase the rate of transpiration, so as to ensure that the cell does not the water does not being produced in excess into the body of the plant, so as to ensure that the removal of the water. While for those plants which are living in this xerophyte plant or xerophyte plant, they have the succulent stomata, which are centered within the cell organelle. This is one of the adaptation to conserve the water loss, so as to ensure that the water does not get lost from the plant body, so as to ensure that the internal water body fluid in the plant body, which is crucial for the plant growth, for the transport of material, for excretion, are maintained, so as to ensure that this plant continue to grow and develop in a required manner. Also perform different metabolic activity like photosynthesis, excretion, and others. So plant leaf possess an epidermis which protect internal tissue and permit exchange of material within the external environment. So the plant leaves also possess the epidermis. Within the epidermis is where there is the cuticles. This cuticle, for example, for those xerophyte plants, are very thick, so as to reduce the rate of water loss, the transpiration, the dehydration, also to protect them from this harmful sun rays, so as to ensure that the activities within the plant is not affected from the fluctuation of the external environment. Also, it permits the exchange of material with the external environment. Also, they have the stomata, which open and close to allow the exchanges of gases. The stomata does not only functioning in the regulation of the amount of water, but also they facilitate, or they perform the roles in the in the gaseous exchange, where they allow the entrance of the carbon dioxide for the photosynthesis process, while at the same time they release out the oxygen as byproduct of the photosynthesis, which are crucial for the survival of the living organism. So, by the action of stomata, they regulate the quantity of gas to take in and let that out. So, by the action of stomata, they regulate the amount of gas by taking in carbon dioxide and let go out of the oxygen. Also, stomata holds open and close to get right amount of carbon dioxide and oxygen. So the stomata holds and open in closeness, and the stomata zenyewe zinakuwa zina open na zenyewe zinakuwa zina close depending on the concentration of the gas they require. So kama kutakuwa hapo kuna low amount of carbon of external, katika external environment, kama kutakuwa na kiasi kidogo cha carbon dioxide, they will open kwa ajili ya kuweza kama within the internal cell kutakuwa na kiasi kidogo cha carbon dioxide, lakini katika external kutakuwa na kiasi kubwa sana cha carbon dioxide. They will open up kwa ajili ya kuweza kuchukua the amount of carbon dioxide, lakini at the same time katika external environment tunakuwa na kiasi kidogo sana cha oxygen, lakini within the internal cell ya plant kunakuwa na kiasi kubwa sana cha oxygen. Kwa hivyo watakuwa wanachukua oxygen, carbon dioxide from the external environment kuweza kuingiza ndani la kuweza let go of oxygen ambapo ilikuwa oxygen within the plant. That is how it do maintain the homeostasis. Lakini at the same time vile vile tunapokuwa tunachukua carbon dioxide na kuweza release oxygen, the same time water loss pia inakuwa na take place the transpiration kwa ajili ya cooling process. That is how the plant do perform the cooling kwa ajili ya ku prevent it from overheating and so forth. So the stomata regulate the photosynthesis, but they also maintain the plant water at the optimal level. So the uptake of the carbon dioxide, this is one of the mechanism. This is one of the raw material for the photosynthesis process. The photosynthesis process, this is a process whereby the green plant do manufacture its own food in the presence of the sunlight, due to the presence of the chlorophyll, which increase the surface area for the absorption of the maximum sunlight. So the carbon dioxide, the sunlight are responsible. These are responsible for the photosynthesis process, where we get the glucose, also the oxygen as byproducts. Water also is used as one of the raw product. So the byproduct ambayo inabidi release ni oxygen ambayo inakuwa not beneficial na inatumika kwa ajili ya respiration by living organism. So na vile vile inakuwa inasaidia katika maintenance of the water at optimal level. Kwa hapo tumeangalia katika wale xerophyte na pamoja na hydrophyte. Xerophyte na wale plant ambao wanakuwa wanapatikana katika dry areas, kwa mfano maeneo ya jangwa, lakini hydrophyte ni zile plant ambazo zinapatikana katika waterlogged area, maeneo yenye maji. So kwa mfano kina mangrove and etc. So this is how the plant do maintain the internal constant conditions, so to ensure that the functioning of the cell is maintained at the constant level. So my lovely Form 3 students, that mark the end of an enjoyable lesson on the regulation. I hope now you are very now equipped with the concept of regulation, and if you will be asked any question either on the NECTA, in the school, and other examination, you will have an ability to tackle them very carefully and very efficiently. This topic also is very important to make sure that you master it. It is very simple, and it is very simple to understand if you keep hardworking, if you become very attentive in listening and in following. Also taking different quizzes, exercises, and exam. You can solve these different exams, so you can see how this question from this topic come from, the nature of the question, so as to enable you to improve up your understanding. Also keep on following Educare TZ. Don't forget to share with your fellow students, with your teachers, also with your classmates. Also you can invite other people so that they can follow the media for other understanding. So this marks the end of today's session, but before I sum up, I would like to give you this a simple task so as to improve your understanding. So my question is, explain how plants maintain homeostasis. Let's mark the end of today's session. Please stay tuned on Educare Media. Have a nice moment.